20 years in schools and colleges, for what? Did they train us only for exams, not for life? Let's think. What if I told you 20 years of schools might be destroying your intelligence? Modern education, the system we trust to shape minds, might actually be shrinking them. According to education experts, by the time a child finishes formal schooling, up to 70% of their natural intelligence is lost. So what are we really creating? Degree without directions, knowledge without wisdom, qualified individuals but not capable ones. We have become a society where survival depends more on titles than a talent, where people cling to the two alphabets after their name instead of using the true potential. Ask yourself, if your degree disappeared tomorrow, would you still survive? We spent 20 years in schools and colleges, but what did we actually learn? To memorize, to pass exams, but not to think, not to handle the failures, not to question innovative or truly understand life. Today, even academic toppers are breaking down. Adults are losing jobs overnight, not because they are not educated, but because they were never truly prepared. So let's ask the hard question: is modern education building us or breaking us down quietly? So let's ask ourselves, did we really prepare us for life, or did it just prepare us to follow the orders? Welcome to New Perspective. This is Karthik. Welcome to Think With Me. What is education meant to be? The word education literally means to bring out, to expand your perception. But today it feels like the system does the opposite. Narrows your thinking, formats your brain and kills your inner fire. For example, ancient systems like Gurukulas in India or the Socratic methods in the Greece focused on dialogue, self-searching and real-life learning. So what about today? A student can solve a calculus problem, but he can't manage stress, relationships or money. A child asks 400 questions a day at the age 4. By the time they are 14, they are asked to stop asking the questions. Not because they know everything, but because the system has trained them to fear being wrong. Education should bring curiosity out of you, but today it's killing it. Where it all went wrong? Think carefully. Will one size fits all? Of course not. Everyone learns differently, but the system still gives everyone the same syllabus, same test and expects the same results. We put every student, an artist, engineer, dreamer, a poet, through the same grind. It's like planting a fish, a monkey and a tiger in the same jungle and judging them all by how well they climb a tree. Marks over mindset. A 99% in exam is impressive, but how many of those students know how to lead, speak or think for themselves? School teaches trigonometry but not taxes, essay writing but not emotional regulations, and when life hits, we are all unprepared. Now it's about marks. We reward obedience over originality. A child scoring 90% is praised. A 14-year-old child builds a robot from scrap and enters in a local competition. His teacher's response, "That's great, but did you study for your science unit test?" What are they rewarding them? Not creativity, just conformity. Zero life skills. Current education system teaches Pythagoras theorem, but not how to handle anxiety. We learn to write essays, but not how to build resumes, negotiate or say no. Schools and colleges prepared us to crack exams, not life. We graduate with formulas, facts and grades. But when real life began, we realized we were unplanned. Let's divide into some examples. The 90% student who panicked in a bank, he or she scored 90% in 12th grade, solved calculus problems in seconds. But the first time a student went to open a bank account, the child panicked, but didn't know what a savings account was, how to fill a form, or speak to the manager. Our system produced a high scorer, not an independent adult for a society. Let's take a second example. The interview that exposed the gap. He or she had a B.Tech degree, 5 projects, and a great marks, but in a job interview, when asked, "Tell me about yourself," he or she really freezes. No communication skills, no confidence, no clue how to present his own story, because we taught him to answer questions, not to ask or express. Now let's see real life proof where the modern education system is really failing. Let me give you few incidents, a heartbreaking incidents from Chennai. A young NEET aspirant reportedly ended his life due to exam pressure. And it's not the first time these cases are growing, and they reveal how deeply the system hurting students. Let's take one more incident. Tech layoff. Adults in their 30s, highly educated professionals with MBA degrees, even 10 years of experience, were laid off by top companies like Google, Meta, Infosys. They spent decades studying only to realize their degrees didn't guarantee survival. Why? Because schools and colleges taught them to be qualified, not capable. If your degree can't save you at 35, was it real education? Let's take incident 3. Sushant Rohilla, from the top university, a bright law student who loved public speaking, denied exam attendance because of low percentage. Despite having genuine reason, he begged, emailed, he cried for help. They said rules are rules, and he ended his life. When rules becomes more important than student, what are we educating for? Incident 4. A 45 years old Pradeep Suryavanshi, techie from Pune in 2023, worked in the industry over for 20 years, suddenly laid off during the 2023 tech slowdown. And he tried freelancing, tried to upskill, tried everything, but age and competition stood like a wall. One day he left home and never returned. His dreams ended on the railway tracks. What pushed him to the tracks? He didn't fail, the system did. Because no one teaches how to restart at 40. Incident 5. Manoj Patil, a senior tech manager at Bengaluru at 2022, aged 38 with a family and kids, he was laid off by a top MNC in the name of cost optimization. Jobless for months, rejections kept piling up, savings running dry. He wrote in a note, "My career is over, my life has no meaning now," and he ended it. We were taught to study hard, get a job, and life would be set. But no one told us what happens when that job vanishes. These are not just incidents, they are the funeral notes of a system we once trusted. A system that told us study hard, get marks, get a degree, and life will be sorted. But life isn't straight line. It's full of twists, lays off, breakdown, and burnout. A modern education, it teaches formulas but not failures. It prepares us for exams but not for existence. When 15-year-olds are dying because of marks and 40-year-olds are dying because of job loss, can you still call this a successful system? Degrees are everywhere, but directions is missing. Success is chased, but self-worth is forgotten. The real question isn't whether education is broken, it's why we keep acting like it's wrong. What's changing and what gives us hope? Yes, the system failed us, but that's not the end of the story, because a silent revolution is already beginning. Learning is breaking out of classroom. The world is waking up. You don't need a classroom to learn anymore. You need curiosity. Today, a 17-year-old in a village learn coding from YouTube. A homemaker can become a stock trader from his phone or her phone. A retired man can become a successful podcaster. Let me bring up few examples like Alka Pandey, aka Physics Wala, rejected by elite system, ignored by institutions, but he picked up a marker, stood in front of a whiteboard, and built India's most loved edutech platform. Without permissions, without degrees, without a gatekeeper. The tools are already in your hands. The only real school is now self-education. Let's give it hope. New age institutions are emerging. Not all education is broken. A quiet revolution is already under the way. New age institutions are remaining learning, not as a race for marks, but as a preparations for life. Platforms like Unschool teach what traditional schools don't: how to freelance, manage money, build career, and think independently. Akshay Patra Gurukulas blend ancient wisdom with modern purpose. Hard schools and top IB schools now prioritize emotional intelligence, problem solving, and creative over memorization. In Finland, classrooms look radically different. No mindless exams, no cramming, just curiosity, collaboration, and real conversation. Real skills are becoming the real currency. The job market is shifting. Companies no longer ask, what did you score? They ask, what can you solve? Let's take an example. A 20 years old freelancer in Kerala earns 2 lakh monthly from UI design. He never got a design degree, just skills and portfolio. A college dropout from Ranchi became a Google developer ambassador, not because he memorized books, but because he knew how to build a real thing. The future belongs to those who create, not to those who just comply. Even we get real proof which shows success doesn't come from a syllabus. Neeraj Chopra, Olympic gold medalist, his classroom was the field, his focus was discipline, not decimals. Mary Kom didn't ace school's exam, but became a world champion with grit, not grades. Sudha Murthy left a high-paying job to serve society. Today, her books and her social work teach more than any syllabus ever could. Bhavesh Agarwal quit a regular job to build a Ola from scratch. He didn't follow the curriculum. He followed a problem worth solving. They didn't drop out of education. They graduated from the old idea of success. So what's the solution then? Let's be honest, we can't flip the entire system overnight, but we can begin. And it starts with this. So what's the solution then? Let's be honest, we can't flip the entire system overnight, but we can begin, and it starts with this. Don't just study to pass exams, learn to master life, build skills over the syllabus, prioritize the mindset over marks, create more than you consume, ask questions, fail, try again, teach the lesson you all need, because real education isn't what you memorize, it's what you incorporate. The world doesn't need more degrees, it needs more thinking minds. So stop waiting for the system to save you. Be your own education. Now take a moment to think with me. Imagine a world where school taught you how to survive, how to build a business, how to speak your mind, how to heal your heart. That's not a fantasy, that's what real education should be. So now the question is in your hands. So now the question is yours to answer. Are we being educated or just formatted? We spent 2 decades inside the classroom as conscious, capable humans or just well-trained machines. We were taught how to solve for X, but never how to solve it ourselves. And maybe, just maybe, the biggest exam of life has no syllabus. But here's the twist, you don't need permission to reclaim your mind. For example, Elon Musk didn't wait, he read, learned, built SpaceX. No degree in rockets. The world is changing. Old news at 9, but now YouTube, Substack, info is instant in your hands. Self-education is rising. Example, YouTube is the new classroom. Millions learn skills from creators, not college. Point is, internet is the university, curiosity is the teacher. So don't just blame the system, outgrow it, outlearn it, outcreate it. If this video made you pause, don't just scroll. Comment below one thing your school never taught you. Let's start the conversation the classroom never had. We spent 20 years preparing for exams. Now let's prepare for life. This is Think With Me. Like, share and subscribe. And now let's rethink education together. Thank you.